Getting your first campsite or a touring park job is a real roller coaster, and you should know that each site defines their unique terms of employment. Each site has their own ways of recruiting and managing staff, and it's really interesting. The world of campsite job adverts is super exciting, but not all of those adverts are excellent, or at least some of them beg for clarification. Welcome back if you are a regular subscriber, and welcome if it's your first time. My name is Kat, and for the last 5 years I've been living and working on a caravan site in the UK. So I hope you gave this video a like. If not, now is the perfect time to do it. So let's have a look at the first job advert. And I have to say that I paraphrased the text from the adverts. It's still the same sense, it's still the same meaning, but with slightly different wording to protect the privacy and good reputation of the sites. So the first one, employment during the seasonal period from March to October with a minimum commitment of 10 hours per week. Okay, so we know what's the minimum during this quieter period, but we don't know what's the maximum. And bear in mind that some sites expect you to work 60 or even 70 hours per week in high season. And high season runs for 6 weeks. So it may be really great for you during the quieter months and weeks. You may be happy with working for just 10 hours per week. But would you be able and fit to cover 40, 50 or 60 hours per week? So this is something you really have to clarify. When it comes to hours and the number of hours, there are so many different arrangements. Another advert I found says, we offer 20 hours for one person per week and 10 hours for the other person. So it's up to you how you split those hours. So in the low season, you will be doing 30 hours per week together, but this is rising in the high season to, and hold on, 40 to 45 hours each, which means you will move from working for 30 hours a week between you to doing 90 hours per week, which is 3 times as much. So you may think, ooh, brilliant, 90 hours per week, 90 hours per week. We will earn a lot of money. Yeah, but are you able to work 45 hours per week for 6 weeks? And then think about the tax you will pay on your beautiful summer pay. So watch out for this. Another rather vague advert says 16 to 32 hours per week in the low season with additional hours during the peak season. So you will really need to ask whether Easter, half terms, bank holiday weekends, they are also classified as high season. And bear in mind that the high season on campsites and in holiday parks runs for 6 weeks, and it starts in the second half of July till the end of August. You may hear the answer, well, it depends. So then you will have to think whether you can afford to have such a big range of your working hours during the year. If it's your additional income, if it's not your sole income, this campsite job, it will not be a problem. If you are applying because you really want to live on site and maybe make some additional money, that will not have such a great impact on you. But if you rely on this campsite or a holiday job pay to support yourselves, you really have to get those things clarified and get them right and apply for the right job. Because look, there is another job which I found. So there are full-time options and very, very part-time options like this one. Warden responsibilities entail 5 days a week, approximately 2 hours a day, which gives you 10 hours as a warden, with additional maintenance tasks like grass cutting and general handyman duties for a total of 4 hours per week, which gives you in total as a campsite warden 14 hours per week. So this has to be a really, really small site if they manage having a warden for only 14 hours per week. If you've been watching my videos for a while, you know very well that being a campsite warden is not a typical 9 to 5 job. There is really no end to it, because you start in the morning, you work throughout the day, and very often you have evening duties as well. So it's really nice if there is a rotation, because as I said, the high season lasts for 6 weeks. You don't want to be on call every evening for 6 weeks. You need to have your days off, which is another area you really have to check. You know what's the arrangement, because some sites, like our site, for my role, we do not have days off together with Marek, but it works for us because of our dog. But if we didn't have a dog, we would love to have days off together. So there are different options. Usually couples have days off together, and there is a rota for evening duties, which mean you are not on duty every day. You are on duty for maybe 2 days a week, and other couples cover the rest of the days. I found only one advert which really clearly says you will not be on your warden duty as of 8 p.m. because between 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. we've got the night warden. What a luxury! I only found one site which actually employs a night warden, so the daytime staff can sleep and relax during the night. And here is something which seems lovely on the surface, but it's not really. At least it wouldn't be for us. Listen to this. Instead of opting for a 0 hours contract, we prefer to offer the stability of a fixed wage, irrespective of the availability of tasks. Our scheduling follows a pattern of 3 days on, working as needed, followed by 3 days off. This is a super interesting situation, so I'll repeat it. There is no fixed number of hours, but there is a fixed wage, and you will be working 3 days on, 3 days off, or rather you will be paid 3 days on, 3 days off. And it doesn't matter how many hours you work. You get paid for your working days. You are paid for a day's work, and it could be anything between an hour, 2 hours to 10 hours, or maybe even 12 hours a day in high season. So it gives you the stability of steady cash flow. You know exactly how much you will earn, but you have no idea how many hours you will work. So in February, if you've managed to do only 2 hours of work a day, you will still be paid for a full day. So don't come to the manager in August crying that you are exhausted because you've been working really long shifts on your 3 days, because let's face it, they have already paid you for this work during those quieter seasons, during those quieter months and weeks. So this may work. What I like about those job offers is that you know how much you will earn, and you will not pay such varied amounts of tax, because this is the trap with doing super long hours in the summer. You think, ooh, my spring was really quiet, I didn't earn this much. Now in the summer months I will work, from morning till the evening, and then you end up with this huge paycheck, but also with huge deductions on your payslip. I found another rather interesting advert which stated, our campsite wardens are not involved in the booking system, they are not taking any payments, they are not dealing with any office work, they are not required at the reception at all. Instead, we expect them to focus on the guests, looking after them, providing excellent customer service, and looking after the site, which seems okay if you are not interested in progression, because if you are running for a warden job or a warden couple job, one of you will be running the reception and will be taking bookings, answering the telephone and emails, and this admin bit is crucial if you want to get promoted to campsite or holiday park assistant managers, and maybe eventually running the whole site. So if you don't have a chance to do this office work, unfortunately it really limits your chances for progression in this sector. Traditionally, in a warden couple, one of you works outside and one of you works at the reception. And that way, one day, you may take over running the site completely, or maybe even start your own. So look at you, at the beginning of this video you were keen to run for a campsite warden job, and by now you may be put off. Are you still with me? Are you still watching? Did I manage to change your mind? Did I challenge some of your ideas? Did I give you some food for thought? Of course, it's not all doom and gloom. What I'm trying to say in this video is that there are so many different sites, so many options, so many arrangements, that you will find something that works both for you and for the site you are applying to work for. Just read those adverts carefully and don't settle on something that will really be against your needs, because you will not last the first season. You will not survive the first season. So I really like the phrase that now I have something really positive and something really also really funny. I have a few funny quotes towards the end of this video. So listen to this. I really like the phrase "for the right person," and often in those campsite job adverts you will find the phrase "for the right person," which means we will hire you, we will see how we work together, and if you are our right person, if we really like you, and if it goes smoothly, there will be some extra bonuses. For example, for the right person, this may turn into a permanent full-time role. For the right person, there may be rent-free accommodation. That's why it's so important to find the right site for you, the right job for you, and be this right person. You know, settle down, find the site which you love, and grow your roots, just like we did here in Mill Park. Another interesting aspect of this employment and another opportunity is that in fact you could be working on a different site each season. You could be changing sites, you could be switching between the sites. If you are into touring, if you want to explore the country, this could be a wonderful way of funding your travels. Some people prefer to stay on one site for many years, like me and my husband. Some people are a bit more adventurous. So of course there are pros and cons of both solutions. If you switch sites, you could learn different roles, you could try different roles, you could also try different regions and pick your favorite to live. We love Southwest. We are certain we would love to work and live either in Devon or Cornwall, so it's not a brainer for us. But perhaps some of you want to explore. You could even, you know, go beyond the UK and work abroad. There are adverts abroad. I noticed that usually the adverts in France are for volunteering. It must have something to do with the laws and regulations and employment law, because there are sites recruiting for campsite wardens and campsite hosts in France, but you don't get paid. You get your pitch and the use of the site, and that's it. You don't get money for your work. Usually it's very part-time, so if you fancy spending maybe 6 months in France in your motorhome or a caravan, this could be your free pitch in exchange for a few hours of work a day. As long as it's not a full-time job, it may be a good deal. Just read the small print, and if in doubt, ask. I also have to point it out that accommodation is another area which may be a bit tricky, so different sites offer different things. Usually campsites will provide you a seasonal pitch with electric hookup and water for free, and of course the use of facilities on site such as laundry and Wi-Fi and so on. Sometimes, if there is accommodation like lodge or a static, you will either have to pay rent for the static, and usually there are bills. I haven't seen, even for site assistant managers, I've never seen a job offer which would offer you a static and all bills included. Oh, actually no, I did find one site, but they were paying manager's minimum wage. The assistant manager wage was the minimum wage, but there was static, rent-free, and bills were included. So I'm not sure if that's the good deal. You could tell me. I really don't like terms like this one, and once we've been on a job interview and we were offered this, a touring pitch is available for your own motorhome, caravan or camper van with free electric, laundry and Wi-Fi in exchange, and listen carefully, for late arrivals and evenings on call. So this means that working in the evening will not be paid for. This is your free work, let's say. Well, for the sign they say this is in exchange for your pitch, but in fact it means they really ask you to work for, let's say, free, because most of the sites will offer you a seasonal pitch with a free electric hookup, and there are no additional conditions. And if you work in the evening, you will be paid for it. Also, this advert didn't specify how many evenings on call. Is it every day for 6 weeks in the summer? And how late is the late arrival? Is it 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the evening, midnight? Bear it in mind, because you will start your warden day job early, probably at 8, 7 or maybe 6 o'clock in the morning. You really don't want to deal with late arrivals at midnight. Don't be surprised if you get asked to send a photo. I'm not sure what's the purpose of sending a photo along with your CV. Okay, some could argue this is a way of assessing your fitness, but this could also be a way of assessing your age, your attractiveness, I don't know, maybe even your nationality or race. I don't like it. I don't think it's right. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Working on a campsite, by the end of the day, this is not a beauty contest, and you can't really judge somebody's willingness to work, their work ethic, their commitment, their character, just by the way they look. Or can you? I don't know. I remember years ago in Poland, I walked to the KFC and all the girls working there were of the same height and exactly the same size, probably 6. And I said to Marek, I bet they have a tiny uniform and they get you to try it out during your interview, and if you can squeeze yourself in, you will be hired. If not, you will not be hired. Because it was just shocking that all female staff was of the same height and the same size. But haha, we are in the UK, the country of equality and diversity. So personally, I don't like the adverts which require a photograph. Do you? If you enjoyed this video and you would like to see more of my content, please subscribe to the channel. It is free. Please watch my other videos about the ups and the downs of living and working on a caravan site in the UK. I hope you will become a regular viewer and a regular subscriber. So I will see you in the next video on Wednesday and during our live stream on Sunday evening at 7 p.m. Thank you very much and good luck with your job hunting, and of course keep me posted. Good luck and have a wonderful season.